John Kruger here.
I'm changing my mind about you on something, so thank you for being here.
My wife says that once in a while.
I guess my question is, I supported the Land for Maine's Future program, and many voters did. And I'd like to please release the bonds and allow the program.
Let me ask you this. I have one right now. It's $1.2 million. Having been in the forestry for a lot of years and in wood products, I understand a little bit about land. It's $1.2 million. I asked the person to come in and evaluate this proposal. He's a commercial appraiser. So what's the land worth? He said $1,000 an acre. It's 164 acres. They were asking $1.2 million. So 2 people are going to make $500,000 each on the backs of Maine people. I think that's taking advantage of people. So I have had every one of them evaluated. Now, this is the facts. This gentleman right here, his name is Mike Timmons. Representative Mike Timmons put a bill up last session to extend the bonds for 1 year so we can continue to discuss about helping poor people with their heating systems. Because Land for Maine's Future helps rich people. Whether you like it or not, folks, the $1.2 million going to 2 people. Many of the projects I've seen, they go into the public care, but when you can't heat your house, you can't enjoy the park. So why don't we spread it around? Because you're asking everybody in Maine, the 803,000 people who work, have to pay back the debt service on those bonds. Those aren't free. Wait a minute. What you voted for, have you read? Please go read it. Because the Land for Maine's Future bonds that were passed. Incidentally, let me finish the story, then I'll tell you why. Number 1, Mike Timmons asked that we continue debating it for a year. A gentleman named Jeff McCabe changed it and said, kill the bill. The bonds have now expired. I couldn't sell them if I wanted to. They're done. They're gone. What the legislature has to do is reauthorize. Now, for certain bonds, there are 2 things that the legislature is trying to do, and I hope they do one of them. Because LMF will be dead. Because they're trying to take my powers away to sell them. It's unconstitutional. If you read the Constitution, it's an executive function. And it has to stay with the governor. But even more specific, the bonds that you passed, the people passed them, but they also require the governor to sign off. And I am not going to sign off on a bill that's going to give 164 acres to a town and 2 people are going to make $500,000 each. I think that's gouging the taxpayer of the state of Maine. And I won't do it because it's corrupt. The governor of the state of Maine has 5 years to sell every bond. And in the fine language of the bond itself says who's going to sign off. If they say, Governor, you're gone, the treasurer's in, we'll watch what happens. It'll take 5 years for this to get resolved.
If we were wrong about the bond, were we wrong about you too?
You might be. You might. I never said you were wrong about it. I think what you No. What I said is this. When you passed it, you gave the governor 5 years to sell it, and you asked that the governor sign off. I am willing to sign off on it, but I'm not willing to hurt poor people more for the sake of those bonds. Because those bonds, I've asked, so that you understand what we're talking about. To date, as I speak to you, $246 million has been bought in public lands through bonds. And the state of Maine has paid for it. And I can't get $5 million to help heating systems for poor people. I think that's wrong.
If the bond is for a bond, every people, it's not for poor people. It's a separate issue.
Oh, it is?
They're interfering with local people.
Would you, okay, would you do me a favor? Would you tell the legislature, when they pass a bill, not to add things on the bottom of it like they do every time? If they stop adding, if everything stands on its own, I'm all for it. But the legislature's the one that taught me how to do this.
Who do we have here tonight for legislators? Could you stand up? Who do we have here? Former, present legislators?
This gentleman right there, this gentleman right there. And I have great respect for him because he's in the second class. He's in the second class of legislature. He's willing to sell himself to other people so he can get his way done. That's not the way Mainers want things to work. They want you to be honest, whether you take a hit from you, whether you're critical, fine. But I will tell you this, I will stand very strong for the people of the state of Maine, all 1.3 million.
All right, we are at 7:25 at this point.
49% dear.
Now we asked for
Governor, we're doing
32?
The first time.
Okay.
No, we have gone over our time. We're at
It's getting
7:25.
unruly, but I'm going like questions. Thank you very much.